Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. Today's video is all about the 1829 shilling from the reign of King George IV, the coin we can see on screen now. I'll first go through the design of the coin and then move on to the facts and figures. So here we have the reverse design featuring a crowned Lion of England facing out of the coin, and stood atop another crown, much larger crown, the same crown, but of course as it's larger, contains much more detail. So very regal and English style design. Below the second crown we have there three national flowers, a shamrock, a rose and a thistle, of course for Ireland, England and Scotland. Around the rim we can see the legend of the coin in Latin, reading Britanniarum Rex Fidei Defensor. This translates to King of Britain, Defender of the Faith, and of course is in reference to King George IV. Finally, around the rim on both sides we can see small teeth, milling or beads, to prevent the coin from being clipped. Now then, as you've seen, we moved on to the obverse of the coin, where we can see the second portrait of King George IV, facing to the left, with no laureate in his hair and no crown. We can see below his bust is the date of the coin, 1829, so near the end of George IV's reign. And then around the rim of the coin to the top there is the second part of the legend, once again in Latin, and this time reading Georgibus IV de Gratia, meaning in English, George IV by the grace of God. So alluding to the fact that they believed back then he was chosen to be king and to rule by God, as it was God's will for him to be king. So there is the design of the coin, and we'll now move on to the facts and figures of the 1829 shilling. A coin minted at the Tower Hill Mint in London, where the Royal Mint was based between 1810 to 1975. The coin is composed of an alloy of silver, which is 0.925 silver, so 92.5% pure, known as sterling silver for the composition. The weight of the modern shilling was set in 1816 to 5.65 grams, and the diameter set the same year by George III to 23 millimeters. So one of the earlier shillings of this specification, and one of the rarer shillings of these years, with only 879,120 being produced, so under a million, and almost 200 years old, so a more scarce coin to find today. The shilling coin is worth 12 pence, of course 1 shilling, which was 1/20th of a pound coin, or £1, so 20 shillings to the pound. And back in 1829, 1 shilling was equal to £6.88 today, so worth more than a £5 note for just 1 shilling back in this era. And the shilling coin was demonetised in 1990 after serving as a 5 pence ever since 1971 for those first few years of decimalisation. Now then, onto the value of the coin today for a collector. It'll sell for around £18 in poor condition, around £30 in fine condition, then up to £265 in extremely fine grade, and up to £525 in uncirculated grade. So high price there across the board, as is a rarer and older shilling. So comment down below, do you have this rare old shilling in your collection? We'd love to know. And of course, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed and learnt something new. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon for some more coins in the future on Bits and Bobs.